This is a tale from ancient Japan about a terrible monster called Orochi and the heroic god that defeated it, Susanoo. This is their story. The year is 1000 BC. The place, ancient Japan. Rolling hills, misty mountains, rivers winding through the valleys, and stormy skies above. The wind whispers secrets through the trees as it has for millennia. It's here in this timeless land that our story begins. In a village nestled between the mountains and the sea, there lived a family who had lost 2 daughters to a fearsome beast. The eldest was taken 8 years ago on her way home from the river. And last year, the youngest disappeared after venturing into the forest. They had prayed to the gods for help, but their pleas had gone unanswered until now. For in the distance, they see a young man striding towards them across the fields. Tall and handsome with long flowing hair, eyes like the stormy seas, and skin as white as the driven snow. His name is Susanoo, the storm god, banished from the heavens for causing chaos among the gods. And now he comes to Earth as a mortal. And hearing the tale of woe, he offers to help them slay the beast. But first, he must prepare. He takes 8 large vats of sacred sake, places them in a row near the river, and then waits. For what feels like hours, only the sound of crickets and the distant call of an owl breaks the silence. But as the moon climbs higher in the sky, a change comes over the forest. The trees rustle, the ground shakes, and from the shadows emerges a creature of nightmare. It is Orochi, an 8-headed and 8-tailed serpent whose eyes blaze red and scales glisten like rubies in the moonlight. Each of its heads is fierce and terrifying, dripping venom and ready to strike. It raises its heads to sniff the air and lets out a hiss that chills the blood. Then it sees the vats of sake and, overcome with thirst, begins to drink. One by one, it drains each vat and lets out a roar of satisfaction. But alas, it is a bitter drink, and the Orochi soon grows angry. In a drunken rage, it lashes out with its tails, smashing the earthenware and sending shards flying. But it is too late. The storm god has waited for this moment, and now he strikes. Drawing his sword, he calls down a mighty tempest that shakes the very foundations of the mountains. Lightning flashes and thunder roars as the battle begins. First, the snake rears back its heads and lashes out with fangs bared and eyes blazing. But Susanoo dances away from their grasp, his movements as swift and unpredictable as the wind. Then, with a speed that belies his mortal form, he lunges forward and strikes. The serpent hisses in pain as the sword bites deep into its flesh. But it is far from dead. And with 8 heads and 8 tails, each more vicious than the last, it fights with the fury of a cornered beast. Each head that Susanoo cuts off simply grows back, stronger and angrier than before. Again and again, the battle rages, a deadly dance of flashing steel and thrashing tails. The ground is soon soaked with the serpent's blood, which mixes with the rainwater to form a dark and murky pool. But still the creature fights on, its eyes blazing with hatred and madness. Yet the storm god remains calm amidst the chaos, his face a mask of determination. With every stroke of his sword, he cuts deeper and deeper into the beast's flesh, searching for the heart that lies at its core. As the fight continues, the stakes are raised. The forest around them is destroyed, the river overflows its banks, and the sky is rent with thunder. It seems as though the world itself will end in this battle between good and evil. Yet still, Susanoo presses his attack, knowing that he must prevail. If not, the serpent will grow stronger with each passing moment and eventually break free from his. Attacks, finally, as the first rays of dawn appear on the horizon. Susanoo's blade sinks into the serpent's heart. With a final roar of pain and anger, the Orochi collapses, its heads falling to the ground one by one, finally still and lifeless. The silence that follows is deafening, broken only by the sound of Susanoo's heavy breathing and the pounding of his own heart. He stands over the fallen beast, his sword dripping with venomous blood, and knows that he has won a great victory. But his work is not yet done. For deep within the serpent's coils, he finds something that will change the course of history. As he cuts into the Orochi's body, he discovers a shining sword nestled in its chest, glowing with an otherworldly light. The blade is named Kusanagi-no-Tsurugi, and it is said to be one of the 3 treasures of the Imperial House of Japan. In the following centuries, the sword would become a symbol of the emperor's power and authority, passed down from ruler to ruler for generations. But that is a tale for another time. For now, let us return to the present moment and see how Susanoo claimed his prize. The serpent is dead. Its reign of terror finally ended, and the villagers can finally feel safe once more. As the sun rises higher in the sky, Susanoo sheathes his sword and turns to go. He walks away from the battlefield, leaving behind the villagers and the dying embers of the forest fire. His task is done. He has slain the beast and brought peace to the land. But as he disappears into the mist and mountains, we are left to wonder about the storm god. Where will he go now? What other adventures await him? And what will become of the sword that he found in the heart of the serpent? We may never know the answers to these questions, but we can be sure of one thing: Susanoo's legend will live on for many years to come. The tale of the storm god who slew the 8-headed serpent will be told and retold, passed down through generations of Japanese storytellers. And who knows? Perhaps one day the two will meet again in a rematch for the ages. So, while we may say goodbye to Susanoo now, we can be sure that this is not the end of his story. As the clouds clear and the sun shines down on the land, we are reminded of the strength and courage of the human spirit. Even in the darkest of times, hope can shine through and good can triumph over evil. So let us take inspiration from Susanoo and never give up in the face of adversity. For who knows what treasures we may find if we keep moving forward. Now, if you want to continue the adventure, you can click here to watch this episode or click here to watch this one. And if you want to be part of our community, please like, subscribe to our channel, and join the adventure today.